I'm going to show you how to set up a multicam sequence inside of Adobe Premiere. So why is this useful? Well, if you've shot your interview, podcast, content, whatever it is, and you've put multiple cameras in there and you've got different angles, but it's the same content, it was shot at the same time, then one option is to lay that stuff down on your timeline and then chop up the clips and choose what you want to have when. That's quite time consuming. If you've got lots of cameras, that's quite complex. And the longer you go for, and if you want to like re-edit stuff, it's just very complex basically. So that's where a multicam clip comes in, and I'll show you how to set that up right now. So I'm inside Premiere and I've shot this interview. It's like a kind of outdoors kind of thing. And I've got 3 different cameras I shot on my phone. So I've got like a low down angle there. I've got the main camera, which is my Sony. And then I've got some old, some footage from my old 5D as well. So different stuff, different angles, and we can color correct it all later. But the first thing we want to do is get that into one clip so we can just edit with it straight away. So what we're going to do is we're going to select everything. Like we're going to right click on that, and then we're going to go create multi-camera source sequence. And then this brings up this dialog, and you've got a few options here. So you've got, this is the most important one, is like where you're going to synchronize it from. Are you going to synchronize the in points? So did you start the camera all at the same time? Probably not. So you're not going to use that very often. Out points, again, that isn't useful in my opinion. Time code, very useful if you use time code in the first place. So if you made sure all your cameras were on the same time code, if you don't know what I'm talking about, it doesn't matter because you probably didn't do it. But it's a way of synchronizing devices and making sure they all are frame perfect and in sync with each other. I didn't do that. So we have the other option, which is audio track channel. So we're basically going to use the audio, like what's on each of the audio channels for each of the cameras. One camera had good audio, which is the one that I'm going to use for the final mix, but the other 2 were just recording off the in-camera stuff. So they're really crap. But it doesn't matter because we're not going to hear it, but it is useful for synchronization. So we're going to use the mix down for that. And then everything else is kind of as you want it really. Option sequence preset, I know that it's UHD 25p, so I'm going to use that. Sequence settings, well, it'll take it from camera 1. Oh, the audio sequence settings from camera 1, whatever it chooses camera 1 as. And then the camera names, we'll just use the clip names for now. So we're going to click OK. It's going to do its thing, and there we go. We've got a new clip, and it looks a little bit different to a normal sequence. So what we can do is we can open up this sequence. You can't double click it to get it to open in the sequence. You have to right click it and go open in timeline, and we can see that everything is set up in here. So it detected my different tracks. It's put all of these ones on different tracks. So what I'm probably going to do is just drag those down so they're all on one track, drag those ones down as well. Maybe delete the empty tracks, delete the empty audio tracks as well. Actually, we can, let's just make sure this is all in the same place. Delete tracks, delete empty tracks. That's what we want. So now we've got the 3 and 3. And if we listen to this, we'll see what it sounds like. So that's an audio track that I don't want. What's this one? Another audio track that I don't want. So that means that this one is the one I want, which is going to be on my left channel, which is fine for now. So what we can do is then in our sequence itself, we can do 2 things. One, we can load that up here. So when we scrub through it, you can see all three clips. And actually something we might want to do is if we go in here, my 5D footage was HD. So we can go into effect controls, all that, make it fit to the 4K, Control C, and then Alt V. Oh no, it's not that anymore. It's Control Alt V. And then, yeah, just paste those settings. So now when I go to my sequence and load that in here, we've got that as taking up the full frame basically to match the 4K stuff. We might up-res it or do whatever later. But anyway, we can now pull this in, and we can do 2 things. We can either like choose the sections we want based on like the audio or the transcript or whatever, and then pull them in. Or we can have a look at the whole thing. And now what we can do is if we click this little icon here and go to multi-camera, we get a sort of double view, which is quite helpful when we're sort of scrubbing through. We can see all the angles at once. So if we like chop this up like this, and then I think I've got it set to like follow my playhead, which is quite useful. If we go, yeah, sequence, selection follows playhead, then I can just be sort of watching through it. And then say I've already done my edit or so on and so forth, I can just basically press the number keys to switch between the different angles. So I can choose that angle, and then we jump to the close-up, and then we go to the mid-shot, or whatever it may be. So that's basically it. You've got what you need. And the nice thing about it being in a multicam sequence is every edit I do to it, I can update in the original multicam thing. So we go into here and say I wanted to like recolor this or change the scaling of stuff or change the timing. I can make those changes and it will ripple through into the edited sequences that I've got. And I've still got access to all the audio, still got access to all the original data, but I don't have a massive timeline stacked up with lots and lots of different videos of different angles. So there you go.